And a barrage of coordinated disinformation has been carried out by certain social media handles in general and mainstream media, in particular in Pakistan, with the sole objective to instill fear among the Indian masses. The psychological warfare has been actively debunked for the last few weeks. The Press Information Bureau on Friday debunked the claims of an explosion at the Jammu Air Force base being made in several social media posts. As per PIB fact check, the image being circulated is an old one. The image is completely unrelated to the Jammu Air Force base and is in fact from the Kabul airport blast in August 2021. PIB cautioned people to not fall for misinformation and always verify before sharing or circulating any information. And the PIB's fact-check unit also refuted a false claim of an attack on Gujarat's Hazira port by Pakistan. In a social media post, the fact-check unit of PIB clarified that this is an unrelated video confirmed to depict an oil tanker explosion, and the video is dated July 7th, 2021. It also urged people to not share this video. Another fake video of drone strike from Jalandhar is being widely circulating on social media. This is an unrelated video of a farm fire. The video has the time 7:39 p.m. while the drone attacks began much later. And another false viral WhatsApp message is being circulated about closure of ATMs across India for 2-3 days. The fact-check unit in a social media post debunked the report, saying that the message is fake. All the ATMs will continue to operate as usual. It also urged people not to share unverified messages. Thus, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has launched India Fights Propaganda campaign across social media platforms. In order to support and amplify this campaign, all are requested to put up this as the profile picture on all official social media accounts of respective departments or media units. So, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, they have launched in fact this hashtag India Fights Propaganda campaign across all social media platforms, and in order to give full support and amplify this campaign, they have requested to put up this as the profile picture on all official social media accounts of respective departments and media units. And to talk more on this, DD India's Nandita Dagar is joining us from Delhi. Nandita, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has launched India Fights Propaganda campaign across social media platforms, not falling prey to psychological warfare.
Yes, good morning, Abhishek. In these times of conflict, you can very well imagine when an enemy is not capable enough, it will resort to these kind of psychological operations, psychological warfare to create panic and misinformation, disinformation amongst the public or the general populace of India. To counter that, of course, for the past 3 days, our Indian government, through its Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, is doing regular fact checks via Twitter, because in this age we know that Pakistani army 3 days back tried to deface some of our military websites also, and that also was countered by the Indian army, that disinformation. And now, as you know, for example, a claim that is as laughable as the former army chief, this is a absolutely false claim by some Twitter handles that a former Indian army chief, General V.K. Narayanan. Now we have had no army chief called General V.K. Narayanan in the past more than 70 years. We've had no such army chief who's been named General V.K. Narayanan. He has written to the Northern Command giving details of operational preparedness. So these are just tactics by by the enemy to actually unsettle the Indian military, mislead the Indian population. Also, Abhishek, Pakistan cannot actually match India in its military preparedness or capability on the battlefield in conventional warfare, and that is the reason why we have been seeing for more than 75 years Pakistan resorting to asymmetrical warfare, which means which it calls its strategy of bleeding through 1,000 cuts, wherein it causes terrorist attacks through its proxies, just as we saw on the 22nd of April in Pahalgam, when 26 innocent tourists were gunned down at point blank range in a military style execution. So apart from that, when Pakistan has been defeated on all fronts, when on 7th of May the Indian Air Force undertook this action of striking on the launch pads of the Pakistani terrorist camps in Bahawalpur and Mirpur and Kotli, they actually circulated fake videos, and you can just imagine when the Defense Minister of Pakistan, when he's asked on an international channel, he confesses that Pakistan has been doing the dirty work of the Western nations as far as terrorism is concerned. What more can you ask for? And it is so laughable that the Defense Minister of Pakistan, who himself is not in control currently, because it is the army which calls the shots in the Pakistan political establishment or the government, any government, be it led by Shahbaz Sharif or Imran Khan, is a puppet government. When Shahbaz Sharif was questioned about its claims of downing Indian jets, you know what the answer he gave to the anchor on CNN? He said, "I've seen it on social media handles."
Yeah.
So this kind of a military establishment, you see the Defense Minister of Pakistan is himself unaware of what is going on, and they themselves have resorted to this kind of proxy warfare by not just by terrorism but by misinformation, and they are giving out, as you have just listed out, some events. The Pakistani army has also circulated these reports that there is a 20 Raj battalion which has been targeted by Pakistani missiles. This is absolutely false, as has been brought out by our PIB website and also PIB fact check. They say that now one of the videos of them showing that there is a drone attack in Amritsar, that was a bomb explosion in Lebanon in 2020. Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes. Nandita, also, what do you have to say about India's diplomatic outreach in the last few hours? Dr. S. Jaishankar speaking with US counterpart Marco Rubio, Italian counterpart, EU counterpart, and making it clear that India will not be the first to initiate or escalate, but if provoked, if attacked, it will not shy away in giving a befitting response.
Yes, you must have noticed that in all the conversations with which our Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has had with, be it with the Secretary of State, who is effectively the Foreign Minister of USA, the EU's Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas, other Western world leaders, is clearly shows this. Who had imagined, Abhishek, about 10 or 15 years back, that the Western nations would actually ask Pakistan to end its support to terror. Whenever in the 90s, whenever we saw a US or UK or any Western head of state visiting New Delhi, that visit was also clubbed with Islamabad, and all these visits happened together. This time, of course, they are urging restraint and de-escalation, but what is something that is very clear is that they've all defended India's right to defend its sovereignty and its people, and also they have in the conversation of Marco Rubio, as you just saw in the press release that was issued, the last line is very, very significant. When was the last time we saw the US of A calling Pakistan to end its support for terror? This is unambiguous and in unequivocal terms. So if Pakistani Defense Minister is saying that he's been doing the dirty work of USA, well, it seems that the USA is now asking it to end the dirty work, because Pakistan has been the fountainhead of terror, not just in the South Asian region. It is responsible for terrorist bombings in Bali, Indonesia. In fact, 5 of the hijackers of the 9/11 terrorist attack have been trained. They have their training. They have been trained in Pakistan. Osama bin Laden was on 1st of May 2011. The world woke up up to a raid by the US Navy SEALs on Abbottabad, where they killed Osama bin Laden. This was a stone's throw away from the Pakistani military academy at Abbottabad. It is like saying that if you find a terrorist camp just next to our National Defense Academy in Khadagwasla, how would you say? So Pakistan has been training, arming, funding, backing, supporting, giving arms to all these terrorist outfits, and now when it is when we see that it is facing such resistance in Balochistan, the Balochistan freedom fighters hijacked a train earlier. They are facing an insurgency in the northwest frontier province in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So it is the Pakistani army which wants to maintain its relevance, and by conducting its terrorist attacks on Indian soil, just like it conducted last month in Pahalgam, it is trying to distract from its own policy failures and its problems at home in order to maintain relevance in the eyes of the Pakistani public. Because just remember, the Pakistani government beat any government, Imran Khan, Shahbaz Sharif, Benazir Bhutto, they've all been puppet governments. The army calls the shots. They live in lavish establishments, lavish homes. They are filthy rich. They have a very luxurious lifestyle. Yet Pakistan is on the brink of not just moral but financial bankruptcy. Why is that happening? Because it has been funding terrorism. Its military capability is nothing compared to that of India. Whether you compare it with our warship and submarine numbers or our air defense system, just imagine our surface to air missiles, our Akash, made in India Akash missiles, which were just inducted in India about 9 years back. They downed all these projectiles which were launched by the Pakistani army last night when it started just before 8:45, and all along the frontage from the line of control to the international border, be it Pakistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, all these cities along the frontage, the entire frontage were plunged into darkness when air raid sirens were sounded, and they were plunged into darkness. Electricity was cut off, but all these missiles, 8 missiles actually, were downed by our Indian air defense systems. Just imagine the foresight of our government. Prime Minister Modi, he purchased these S-400 missiles despite US sanctions. From Russia, US had threatened that it will sanction India if it purchases S-400 missiles. Yet India did not buckle under pressure. It bought these S-400 missiles, and now they have proved to be so useful that not a single projectile has hit and caused any civilian casualty and has hit any military installation in India. So all these facts that you are PIB fact check that you are citing are very, very true. In fact, I would urge, as a national broadcaster of India, as the public broadcaster of India, that not just our viewers but international viewers to remain updated with authentic, verified news, must stay in touch with our public broadcaster and our websites of the government such as PIB and the Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Defense Twitter handles and websites to get authentic information, because the enemy can stoop to any level, be it cyber attacks, defacing websites, or carrying out these misinformation. And in this age of social media, Twitter, quick dissemination of information, even false information spreads like wildfire, Abhishek.
Yes, Nandita, also, tell us about India's diplomatic outreach also, if you can hear me, Nandita. Dr. S. Jaishankar has warned that India has no intention to escalate, but if attacked, it will be met with a very, very strong response.
Are you asking me this question, Abhishek?
Yes, Nandita, yes, go ahead.
Yes, Abhishek, as you very well know that it was not India which started it. India has been the victim of terrorist attacks by Pakistan since 1947-48, and very much in J&K since the late 1980s, when Pakistan used terror as an arm of its state policy. Because it cannot counter India conventionally in the battlefield, in its military capability, in the capability of our men behind our machines, it is resorting to this. It knows that it will be finished in no time when it resorts to a conventional military conflict, and this has been borne out amply by the conflicts that of 1947-48 war, the 1965 war, 1971 war. These wars have been won decisively by India. Even the Kargil war, which was a small localized conflict, they refused to accept the bodies of their army men, saying that they were not involved. But the lie of Pakistan has been amply amply clear for everybody in the world, and it's just that the West is voicing out its concern against terror emanating.
Right,
and
Nandita,
from-
stay with us. The big news coming in just now. Many Pakistani terrorists are gunned down.